Hello guys, welcome to Online Turkish Lessons, Online Turkish School, lesson number 15. In this lesson I'm going to be teaching you the past tense and this past continuous tense. Because guess what, everyone was asking, has been like sending me messages, hey, where are the new tenses? We want to learn new tenses like past tense or future tense maybe. Well, in this lesson I'm going to be teaching you the past tense. I hope you're going to enjoy it. So here we go. So, past tense. Now, in order to conjugate a verb in past tense, you have to know the past tense suffix, which is easy, which is D. Okay. Now, of course, this ends in E, so it's an E vowel. Then we have to make it be able to harmonize it. You know, E forms have E vowel has four forms: E, U, and U, and then finally U. If you remember, you use this for if the previous word ends in a or e, this form a or u, this form o or u, this form and u. You'll know these, easy. Now the second thing which is tricky is that this starts in de. It's one of these four soft consonants, which were j, d, g, and b. Okay. Now the thing is, these consonants are hardened. J would become che, D would become te, G would become ka, and B would become pe, p. So this is called consonant harmony. You remember this? Now we have D here, so in possible occasions we're gonna have D to T changement. If you remember, this happens in ketchup faişesi. These four consonants. If the previous word ends in one of these consonants, you're gonna have to harden these consonants. So we have other forms: T, T, Tu, and Tu. Okay, so you have 8 possible forms. I'm gonna delete this because you already know. This is consonant hardening rule. Okay. So you change the vowel according to the final vowel of the word, and you change D to T if the verb root ends in one of these. Now we'll see an example. For example, yapmak means to do. Okay, yapmak means to do. Now, of course, in order to conjugate in any tense, you have to omit this mak, which is infinitive. Okay, so I omitted it. Now this is my verb root, and guess what? It ends in P. Okay, it's one of these vowels, consonants, sorry. So I'm going to be using this line because with K, T, J, P, F, H, S, 8 consonants require the hardened versions, so T. So this is a hard consonant, so I'm going to use the hard consonant here, which is one of these. So which one? Well, this ends in A, right? Well, the only vowel here is A, so I'm going to be using U, because with A and U I use U. You already know this, I'm just repeating, but you know. Therefore, I'm going to be using this. If I resume, this P may help me decide which set I use. So I use this set because P is one of these consonants. And I choose the vowel according to A, which is A. If it were A, I would be using E. If it were I'd be using this one. Okay, so easy. So I'm going to be using to. Yaptı is our past tense form of the verb yapmak. So it's did or done. Now, of course, we have to conjugate it according to the person. Like in English, I go, but he goes, right? He goes. So in Turkish too, but in a larger scale, we conjugate in every person. Therefore, let's learn what do we change for persons, for each person. For Ben, I add M. For Sen, I add N. Okay, and for O, I don't eat anything. I just add anything. I don't add anything. Okay, 0. So for Biz, I add K. Let me write this way. For Siz, I add Mis. And for Onlar, I add either nothing or the plural suffix as usual. It's optional. Okay. So, as you see, for ban, san, and o, you just directly add these consonants. For o, you don't add anything. For C's, you have to pay attention to E because it's E, so you're gonna have to harmonize it. For onlar, ler, orlar, again, vowel harmony. Okay, so easy. But I'm gonna be deleting this. For onlar, let's just not add anything, okay? For the sake of, it's simplicity. So let's see, I'm gonna be deleting this. And let's see how the verb to do, yapmak, functions. So I have yaptı, and then if you see I add M, right? So I'm going to be adding M here. Yaptım, I did. And yaptın, because N, yaptın, you did. I can also say ben yaptım and sen yaptım. Yaptın, sorry. So, I mean, I can add here ben, or I can add here sen. But there's no necessary, since the endings are unique and different for each conjugation, each person. I don't need the subject pronouns. And for third person, I don't need anything. I add anything. Okay, yaptı. So if you see, pay attention here, yaptı and yaptı. So the past tense form of the verb is automatically the same as the third person singular or plural because we don't add anything. So okay, that's another trick. And in plural, we did, yaptık. You did, you all did, yaptınız. And they did, yaptı or yaptılar. Okay, easy. I think it's easy. So let me remind you, add d or do, and t, to. Okay, 8 variations. You choose between them according to vowel and consonant harmony, and then you add m, n, nothing, k, nis, nothing. Okay, so that's it. Past tense. It's over. Pretty easy, right? Now let's do another example though. For example, let's take the verb yemek. Yemek means to eat. So what I do is I omit the mek, so yeah, okay, yeah is the root of the verb, and I'm gonna be adding the past tense suffix. So this doesn't end in this doesn't end in any consonant, so it automatically doesn't end in a hard consonant either because there's no consonant here. Therefore, I'm not gonna be using the hard consonants because there's no consonant here. So I'm gonna be using the D set. So one of these. Okay. Now E goes with E because U, for U I need to have O or U, for U, A and U, etc. So I have here E. So let me delete this. Yedi is the past tense of yemek. Pay attention, yedi is also the number 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yedi is also number. Anyway, yedi is coincidentally also the past tense of yemek. Now, if you remember, I add m, yedim, to say I ate or I have eaten. We don't do that differentiation. So the past tense in simple past tense in Turkish is simple past tense in English or present perfect. Okay, yedim is I ate or I have eaten. So yedim, you ate or you have eaten will be yedin. He ate will be yedi because I don't add anything. Okay, we ate will be yedik, yediniz, and yedi or yediler. Okay, so I ate, I have eaten, you ate, you have eaten, we ate, we have eaten, they ate, they have eaten, etc. Pretty easy stuff. So that's it. So how do we make negative? Well, it's easy. We add me or ma after the verb root, and then we add the past tense suffix. Okay, so past tense suffix were right. D, do, do, t, to, right? This is like the 3rd time I'm writing this. You learned it. Anyway, so if we like thought about it a little bit, now the rule says that I'm gonna be adding me or ma and then the past tense, right? So actually I can do the math right now in order to like stop thinking about it every time I conjugate. Now, if we look at here, this me or ma doesn't end in a consonant. So there's no hard consonant or anything. There's no consonant. Therefore, if there's no consonant, then these hard consonants have no chance because they are used with hard consonants, right? There has to be a hard consonant here in order for me to use this. So I'm going to be deleting this because there's no chance I'm going to be using it in negative form. So we have left with these. Now if you look again, you remember the vowel harmony, right? With e or e, I'm using e. And with a or u, I'm using u. Now there's no chance that after a I'm going to be using u or u. Same with a. Therefore, this 2 is gone. So with a I'm going to be using e, and with a I'm going to be using u. So I can just write it that way, right? I'm going to be deleting this, and I'm going to be writing here. I add either midi for past tense negative or madi for past tense negative again. So you have only these two choices, okay? I think it's much easier to learn this way. Or you can just do the math again and again, like vowel harmony, consonant harmony, try on your own. That's also okay, whatever suits you, okay? Or for those who don't want to memorize so much or want to tire their brains, well, this is pretty easy, okay? Just two forms, midi or madi, according to vowel harmony. That's it. So let's try a verb, a different verb. For example, uçmak. Uçmak means to fly, okay? Now I'm going to be adding the... First of all, I'm going to be deleting this, also the infinitive, in order to reach the root. First of all, I want to conjugate in positive form because, you know, we learned it, and let's practice again on a different verb. So remember the positive past tense. I have this che, which is ketchup consonant. Therefore, I'm going to be using t. I mean the letter t. And I have this u here, so I'm going to be using u. So uçtu is the past tense of the verb fly. Okay, so this means flew or flown, past tense or simple present. Present perfect tense. They are both in Turkish. So if I say I flew or I have flown, I'm going to be say uçtum. Uçtun, you flew or you have flown. Uçtu, uçtu. Uçtuk. Uçtunuz. Uçtular. Or just uçtu, okay? So this is I flew, you flew, he flew, we flew, you flew, they flew. Or I have flown, he has flown, etc. Now if I want to make it negative, I take the root again, okay? Uç. Now I add one of these. Since this is a dotless vowel, I use dotless vowel, okay? Dotless vowel. Because there's a dot here. This is for e, I, u, this one. And this one is a, o, u. I have u here, so I'm going to be using this one. So uçmadı plus m, because personal suffix. So I did not fly or I have not flown. And uçmadın, you have not flown. Uçmadı, he has not flown or he did not fly. Uçmadık, we didn't fly. Uçmadınız, you did not fly, and then uçmadılar. Okay, they did not fly. I think it's pretty easy, right? Have a look at it for a few seconds, and then like you can pause the video if it did not really dig into your head. So I'm gonna be deleting this, and let's work on a different verb. I have in my mind the verb özlemek, which is to miss, but not in the sense of I missed the bus, I missed the class, I missed the flight, etc. But in the sense of affection, like I missed her. Did you miss me? Like, did you miss your friend? Did you miss your parents? Or stuff like that. Affection. And we usually use in past tense. I missed you. Even if I'm still missing you, we usually say I missed in past tense. So let's see. First of all, if I missed you, I'm going to be using positive, which is özledim, because it ends in a vowel, so no hard consonant here. And then it ends in S, so I'm going to be using E. Özledim, özledin, özledi, özledik, özlediniz, and özlediler. Or just özledi, it's optional. And for negative, I take the root again, okay? Remember to get back to the root for negative. Don't like add it to here after this. Don't do that. Also remember to omit this infinitive suffix, okay? So you need to have the root. Now this ends in e, so I'm going to be using this one because logically, right? So özlemedim, özlemedim, I did not miss you. I did not miss, sorry. I added you. I mean, if I want to say I did not miss you, ben, I, you, seni, accusative form, because, you know, it's direct object, did not miss. Or here I can say ben, seni, özledim, I missed you, okay? So, good for those who want to use this stuff. Anyway, I'm deleting this for now. And you did not miss is özlemedin. He did not miss özlemedi, özlemedik, özlemediniz, and finally özlemedi or özlemediler, özlemediler. Okay? Simple. So if you use past tense, positive, you just add D, which you harmonize according to consonant and vowel, and then you add M and nothing, K, nis, nothing. For negative, you add medi or madı, and then you add M and nothing, K, nis, nothing. Okay? So that's it. Now, how do I ask a question? Well, it's pretty damn easy. After you conjugated your verb and created your past tense, like I did was yaptım, right? I did yaptım. All you do is adding a me. Okay? Of course, you have to harmonize it. You have 4 forms. Again. Basically, it will be the same vowel as here. Okay, so we have U here. I'm going to be using this one. So I'm going to deleting this. So yaptım mı? Did I do or have I done? Okay. Let me write it for all persons. Yaptım mı? Sorry. Yaptın mı? Yaptı mı? I can't type today. Yaptık mı? Did we do? Have we done? Yaptınız mı? Yaptı mı? Or, you know, we have 2 forms here, right? Yaptılar mı? Of course, here you have a, but then with a and u, we use u, right? So, same thing. And with negative, it's the same thing. Let me do it in negative. Yaptım in negative form, it's yap plus madı plus m, right? Yapmadım. Mı? Didn't I do or haven't I done? Yapmadın mı? Didn't you do, haven't you done? Yapmadı. Oh, I can't type. Yapmadı mı? Let me type first and then I'm gonna read. That's gonna be easier for me. Sorry, this is positive. Okay, so yapmadım mı? Didn't I do, haven't I done? Yapmadın mı? Didn't you do, haven't you done? Yapmadı mı? Didn't he do, hasn't he done? Yapmadık mı? Didn't we do, haven't we done? Yapmadı mı? Or yapmadılar mı? You have 2 choices. Didn't they do, haven't they done? Pay attention, this mı is always separate. If you're chatting with a Turk and he writes this like this, delete him, okay? Block him, like erase him, even if it's your boyfriend or girlfriend, okay? Because that's so bad. So that's it. I don't want my students to write in a wrong way, so this question word is always separate. So let's get that straight. That's it. If you want, we can do another verb. Well, let's do another verb just for the sake of example. For example, well, let's take the verb özlemek again. To miss, right? To miss someone. Well, for example, did you miss me? Beni, sen, right? Sen, you. Beni, me, accusative. Özledin, missed. But it's a question, so sen beni özledin mi? Okay, sen beni özledin mi? Did you miss me? And you can say, hayır, ben seni özlemedim. No, I did not miss you. And she or he can ask, özlemedin mi? Didn't you miss? Or haven't you missed? What are you saying? Exactly. I mean, that's just a dialogue. But you get the idea, right? Past tense is easy. Now, another thing is, now that you know past tense and you also know present tense, tada, you also are able to form past continuous, which is really simple and logical. Now, what is past continuous first of all? I was doing is a past continuous, okay? Now, if you pay attention, in English we have here ing, which is like continuity, present tense suffix, right? In English. And then here was, which is in past tense. So English past continuous is a mixture of present and past. So present tense suffix and past tense of verb to be. It's a mixture of present and past because it was a continuous action in the past. Therefore, it makes sense. Now in Turkish too, for example, to do is yapmak, right? Yapmak. I'm gonna be deleting mak. So yap. Now I'm gonna be adding this present tense suffix, which is, if you remember, uyor. And then I'm gonna be adding the past tense. Past tense is, as you remember, di, du. You have 8 forms. So here we have a consonant, but it's not a ketchup fahişesi consonant. Therefore, I'm gonna be using the D set. And we have O here. Therefore, O and U go together. Yapıyordu, was doing. And now normal past tense endings. Yapıyordum, I was doing. Yapıyordun, you were doing. Yapıyordu, he was doing. Yapıyorduk, we were doing. Yapıyordunuz, you all were doing. Yapıyordu, they were doing. If you want to use the alternative form, I'm sorry, but the plural suffix come in between here, okay? So, not yapıyordular, but in between. So, yapıyorlar. And since we have an a here, I don't use u anymore, but I use u, okay? Because vowel harmony. So, you have these two choices. Anyway, I think it's pretty simple. I wasn't really sure if I really should have included this, but I just did it, okay? I think it's pretty simple. In English, you have present tense indicator and past tense here. In Turkish too, present tense indicator and then past tense and then personal suffixes. Right? Pretty easy. If I want to make it negative, like here, I'm gonna get not, right? You just normally make it past tense. Sorry, negative. If you remember, yapmak in negative form is yapma plus ior, but since this starts in ends in a vowel, I delete this, right? This is the present tense rule. You should watch, I think you should watch the video number 10 or 11 for this. Anyway, you just make it negative by adding m, and here, and. Now, if you remember, this your shifts the stress here, right? But this is negative suffix, so shifts the stress one more time. So all of these are stress on the first syllable. Yapmıyordum, yapmıyordun, yapmıyordu, yapmıyordu, yapmıyordunuz, yapmıyordu, yapmıyorlardı. If you remember, this the R isn't pronounced in daily speech. Okay, so it's not yapmıyordum, but yapmıyordum. Okay, and if you want to make it a question, you add mi, mu, mu, which according to this u will be like mu, right? Yapmıyor. No, you don't do it this way. Sorry. Let's not make it question for now. So you know past tense. You know say past continuous, positive and negative form. Question form there's a little trick, but I'm gonna be teaching it later. All right. And so yeah, that's it. Now, however, there's another thing. In Turkish, if you remember, if you say I am a student or I'm a teacher, ben öğretmenim, right? Ben öğretmen plus im. This is present tense verb to be. Now, we don't have verb to be in present tense. We don't have verb to be in past tense either. So what we do is adding the past tense to the adjective or to the noun. So if I want to say I'm a teacher, I'm gonna say ben öğretmendim. You were a teacher, you're gonna say sen öğretmendin. Okay, just like a normal verb. So you were a teacher or öğretmendi. We were a teacher, biz öğretmendik, right? Siz öğretmendiniz. Onlar öğretmendiler or öğretmendi. Okay, so pretty simple. And if you are not a teacher, so I'm gonna delete this. If you remember, in present tense, ben öğretmenim, I'm a teacher, or the negative is ben öğretmen değilim, right? Değil, and then plus im. You remember this? If you don't remember it, revise your notes, all right? It's important. Now in past tense, it was ben öğretmendim, right? And in negative form, ben öğretmen, I use değil again, and then past tense dim. So I'm just going to be using the negative one. Ben öğretmen değildim. Sen öğretmen değildin. O öğretmen değildi. Biz öğretmen değildik. We were not teachers or teacher. Siz öğretmen değildiniz. Onlar öğretmen değildi. Okay? So that's it. Negative form is formed like this. Negative form of verb to be. So basically you use the past tense either directly to the noun in positive, or if it's negative you use değil, just like normal present tense verb to be, and you add the past tense to this. Now what if it is a question? Well, if it is a question, then if you remember, for example, like gelmek is to come, right? This is a normal verb. Therefore, geldim, I came. Geldim mi? Did I come or have I come? I just add me and that's it. Past tense suffix is here. However, if this is a noun, like öğretmen, teacher, right? Now, öğretmendim is okay, but if it's a negative, I don't say öğretmendim mi. But rather, we take this here, okay? So, and here I add oh, sorry. Well, I just add y, okay? Let me write this way. So, remember, you add a y here. I don't know why, but we just add it. So don't ask me. Even though we don't have a vowel situation here, we add it. So, öğretmendim, öğretmen miydim? Okay? Not like this, not öğretmendim mi. But if it's a noun or an adjective, you use this way. Alright? So if I want to say, were you sick? Now, hastasın is you are sick. And I forgot to mention one thing. Hasta plus, and it ends in a vowel, right? Therefore, I'm going to be using y here. So let me summarize the rule again. For verbs, you just add the, do. Sorry, I was a sloppy here. Normally, I revise a little bit before teaching, but right now I'm just improvising, so bear with me. So for verbs, you just add these without worrying about it, okay? For nouns, however, you add these again, but if the noun ends in a vowel, you add y. So I'm going to be using this here. Not all the time, but if it ends in a vowel, okay? So again, the same thing. So I'm going to be writing like this. So for example, öğretmen is a teacher, right? And I'm a teacher. I was a teacher is öğretmendim. No problem, because it ends in a consonant. However, teacher is öğrenci. Sorry, öğrenci. And let me write this way. Öğrenci, it ends in a vowel, right? So I'm going to be adding y. and then now, Tim. So that's another thing. Therefore, the same thing happens in question. If I'm asking a question, öğrenci, me, it ends in a vowel, right? Therefore, I'm adding y. Now the consonant, the past tense suffix. The same thing here, of course. Öğretmen, I add the question word, and then I add y because the question word itself ends in e, so it's the situation here. I'm adding y, and then meeting, for example, were you a teacher? So I hope you got it. I hope I didn't confuse you. I'm sorry about that. It happens sometimes. Yeah. So that's it. I hope you got it. So let's do some examples. Actually, I'm just giving you the English sentences, and then you will be conjugating them, translating them. So it's going to be your homework. Let's say I was I can say, for example, watching television, watching TV. Okay. You didn't die. Alright. She was singing a beautiful song. We came home at let's say on Monday. I'm not sure if I told you the clock yet, so I'm just gonna go with this. We came home on Monday. And one more example. She was cleaning the house, but I was I was not asleep. Or a sentence like this. Okay, so this is your homework. I was watching TV, you didn't die. Pay attention to accusative, etc., stuff like that. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. So see you next time. Goodbye.